everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bricks to Billions with Keisha Adeola Ajiboye, aka your teacher, your real estate investment podcast. And today we'll be talking about those huge terms you used to hear of in real estate. You know, those big words they use, and then you're wondering what are they talking about? They're talking about C of O, certificate of occupancy, deed of conveyance, joint venture, maisonette. I'm sure we all know about flats, terraces. Maybe we don't all know about it. They're talking about semi-detached, detached houses, talking about landscaping, all sorts of things. And so today I want to educate you a bit about it, because without you knowing it, you won't even really understand real estate investment on, the areas you should invest in, what kind of property you should invest in. There's land. Land is a piece of ground. The structures are the buildings, the flats, the terraces, the semi-detached, fully detached. So I was talking about that in lay terms. I'm not going to give you those Kong definitions. It will sound so huge and you may not be able to understand. So I'll just say it in layman terms. So let's talk about the structures. That's the buildings, the building types. We have the apartments. Those are the flats. We have 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom flats, sometimes 4-bedroom flats. And flats are usually structures where you have another on top. That's what you call flats. And it's always just in a space. You have your living room, bedroom, all in one space. That's what you call a flat. So, living room next, kitchen next door, room next door, that's what a flat is. And now then we'll talk about the duplexes. The duplexes are usually most likely rooms upstairs. We now have some where the kitchens are upstairs too. Sometimes you have the guest room downstairs, you have the kitchen downstairs, you have a living room downstairs. Sometimes we have living room upstairs too, just like you have kitchen upstairs. But when you have those structures where you have the inner stairs up and down with a full compound, that is your fully detached. Then the semi-detached are two closely closed buildings together with maybe like a fence separating it, separate compounds. The inner stairs, you could have the living room upstairs, downstairs, kitchen, wherever, but there's always an inner stairs and the rooms upstairs. That's what you called the semi-detached. So terraces too, they're like duplexes. They have the inner stairs in them, but they're like a long building joined together with maybe mini fences just to create a pseudo demarcation and a little compound. Those are what are called terraces. Now, there are this type of flats that mimic terraces. Those are the maisonettes. They are flats. They've got, 2 floors, living room maybe downstairs, rooms upstairs, but it's still a flat because it's got another thing on top of it. And then we have the penthouses. Those are always on the topmost floor. And there's always the advantage of spaces. So sometimes those come at higher prices. So those are penthouses. So that's basically telling you about different types of houses, house types, and what the features are. And then land. Land is basically land, ground space, right? But you can have some things on the land. You can have landscaping on the land to make it look better. So there's some kind of lands that people sell that they call site and services, where they've created a road for you already, provided light, provided drainage, so that's an improvement on the land. So you have what they call site and services, is usually maybe a large expanse of land gated, and then they're selling pieces to you. They've provided water, they provided drainage, they provided security, and they provided light connection when you build your house. So those are sites and services. So what is joint venture? Joint venture is basically two people coming together to put a structure on a land. So we have one person who owns the land. We have another person called the developer who has the funds to build the land. So They come into a joint venture partnership where the landowner brings his land. They do, what's it called now? Valuation of the land to know the actual cost of the land, what the land is worth. And the developer does a BOQ to run what it will cost to put a structure on that based on what the landowner wants, and then they do a sharing formula based on the contributions they made. So the land cost of building, bill of quantity ascertains what it will cost to put the structure on the land. Then they get a sharing formula. Sharing formula, it could be they put 8 duplexes, maybe the landowner, based on his contribution, gets 3 duplexes, the developer gets 5 duplexes, That's what is called a joint venture. Then what is called an off-plan? Off-plan is just basically coming onto a project when it's about to start. You have the leverage of getting it at a better price because as the project is progressing, the price is increasing. So that's what is called off-plan. And what are the title documents? Title documents are the security documents that give you ownership and rights to a property, either a land, an apartment, a building, whatever, or shop spaces, whatever you bought, what gives you title to it. So we have the ones they call certificate of occupancy, we have deed of assignment, we have global C of O, we have different types, we have governor's consent. Make sure whenever you're buying a property to check the title and conduct a search to know whether that property is encumbered. Encumbrance means something is going on the property. It could have been transferred to someone else. It could be in the name of somebody else. It could have been used for a loan, and the loan is not yet paid. So before you buy a property, those are the things you do. You would conduct a search at the lands registry to see if that title is registered. Every title has to be registered. So that is it. And then when we talk about amenities that come with a property, it's basically the developments that have been added to that property to improve the worth of the property. So you could have maybe a gym, you could have a lounge, you could have swimming pool, you could have 24 hours light, you have CCTV cameras, all sorts. Those are the things, the facilities that come with it. What is facility management? What is property management? Facility management is basically maintaining all those added features that come with the property. You understand? So that the property does not lose its value, the value continues to appreciate. What is property management? It's just basically managing a portfolio of properties. So they're different. There's facility management. You're talking about the facilities. The property management, you're talking about the portfolio of properties owned maybe by an individual or a company, and then you have a property manager manage it for them, rent it out for them, do the necessary renovations and all for it. That is property management. What else should I talk about? What other terms do we use in real estate? Site inspection is basically taking you to see where you've shown interest, or to buy rather. And if there's any other real estate term you want me to talk about, you can drop it in the comment section and I'll surely talk about it in the next episode. But for now, I'll be signing out and I'll be saying, cut the camera.